Smek's making some hero plays.
So the gates are opening. It's going to be Montreal here on the attack. Triumph back on the defense. We'll see what Montreal does to move on forward. Hollywood, not the map with the greatest of options on rotations, but you can't decide. You take it up the gut or do you rotate around through Cafe?
And you see the stack up happening for Montreal. Looks like they want to go through Cafe. It could be a fake out. Could rotate back through main. It is going to be rotating. They are going to be rotating here.
Well, they rotate back through main. Awkward was looking for Ultraviolet on the other side. Doesn't quite get it. Montreal, they waste no time, and they immediately lose J-Karu, so perhaps they should have wasted a little bit more time. As the early dive does not work out in their favor, Triumph immediately punishing.
Likely going to see a stagger here onto Smex as well. There's the late D-Mech. He's caught behind, going to get bashed, going to get booped. It's a sad time for Smex. Not going to go down. So that's first fight going the way of Triumph. You see Montreal, they try to get a little sneaky, try to get a little cute with the fake out. But Triumph just having a lot better poke damage there. Just isolating J-Karu very early.
And I mean, that is sometimes what happens when you go for the fake out and the other team doesn't bite and just continues to shoot at you. You lose players and you lose the fight.
Montreal, they're all back up again. Now it looks like they're going to be trying to go through into Cafe. Very low, the armor pack, but Ultraviolet getting booped in. Huge.
That was really nice for Triumph. They went for the split. They got the boop to get Ultraviolet out. And just a few Rhine swings later, and down he goes.
And now Montreal, they're stuck behind enemy lines, and Ultraviolet, most importantly, is isolating.
Icy's hunting him.
Icy's going to go hunt him.
Icy's on the prowl. Now, while Icy's on the prowl, the rest of Montreal is going to move for the point, so they at least want to extract a little bit of progress here. Icy has to rotate back over, and there's a shatter on the other side. Decod, this time he connects, knocks down 2, and that might be enough for Triumph here. Well played by Decod.
Naga actually going to be dropping the rally, even with Smex gone, no mech, no Diva available, but Ultraviolet actually able to catch Icy as well, so this is still very winnable.
Still winnable, but the Graviton making it less so. And Montreal, they still want to fight. They use the barrier. They think they can turn around. Ultraviolet in on the flank. Be deadly. Use the Transcendence. Comes on in. Montreal can be healthy here. Respawn's going to be coming back in. Now you look at Lynx. Lynx in danger. Tensa looking for the finish. Finds him. And Montreal able to start fighting this back.
Tensa, that was a huge beat, a huge boop as well from Tensa, bringing Lynx back into the squad. Now, Montreal, they hold point. They have a high energy Zarya. Logic's continuing to build. Triumph, it looks like they don't want to give it up, though. They want to get test. They have bomb. They have shatter.
Triumph coming back in. Self-destruct in. Shatter used. But again, not getting as much as he would like. But Triumph still holding here. Minute 25. Bomb coming in from Smex over the top. Triumph, they're shrugging on off. Decod in danger, though. Getting poked on down. They're looking to finish him off if possible. Chopped. Goes for the boop. Buys a little bit of time. Icy going to get D-Mech, but Decod's still down.
No, with J-Karu's shatter, that should be it. Triumph, if you're going to commit any more, you need another ult, and they don't have any more ults. They should not commit any more. The grab is out. It's done. Fight's over. That's first. And Montreal slowly but surely winning it. J-Karu's shatter securing it.
Still a very good defense from Triumph, though. Burning 3 minutes off the clock on point A by any metric. That's a win for the defense.
It looks like now Montreal moving forward very aggressively, trying to catch any spawners. Are not going to get them. We're not going to get this point presence, going to get this cart presence up. Lynx does have this grab ad right now, even though there is going to be a double support ult for Montreal. So for Triumph, when they move forward here, their goal is if they can remove a support ult early, maybe even back away, run away from it, and then counter, and then grab, it would be a lot better for them.
See if they're able to accomplish that if Montreal decides to engage those ultimates early before the grab comes out. More likely, I think that Lynx just builds the grab and goes for it. And oh, real close. Taking out Naga. Bubble just barely saving J-Karu, though, punishing Decod. Man for man right now, 5 on 5. Both Reinhardt's out of the fight. Transcendence used, and the Graviton later fight. Eat it! Smex all over it. That would have been the fight winner for Triumph. And Smex says, no way. Montreal still in at the bomb. Off to the side. Making Triumph back on out. Montreal should be getting some progress here, but Chopped takes down 1. And here comes Triumph back the other way.
And back in, Naga is down, and Decod's back. They have to lead the rallies out for Samito. They're going to catch J-Karu coming back from spawn. And what looked to be pretty grim for Triumph, considering that they invested that early trance, Decod went too deep and got caught. It worked out fine in their favor. They backed away from the ults. They got those picks when Montreal got way too aggressive. And now they're able to hold on top of Cafe. The position is strong. They have ults here. Montreal just not able to find the opening they need.
Sad times there for Montreal, especially after getting the grab beat. But now, minute 50 left. Not much time to get through point B.
Not a lot of time, and if Montreal want to win this fight here, they still have to win one more fight at least for that last point. They're looking forward here. They're going to look to set up Logic's grab. They know that Chopped won't have beat but Lynx is going to have a grab his own. Awkward to have that trance, so plenty of ults for Triumph to counter.
Here comes Scares One for Triumph fan. Decod shatters, uses the shatter, knocks down Smex. At least gets one, but Montreal's still in a good spot.
Where's Lynx's grab?
Grab is in a very awkward spot that does nothing, is what that is.
So the grab, sadly, just not, I mean, sure, they don't really push off of it, but they also don't get any frags. They don't get any better positioning off of it either. Triumph now having to back up as Montreal move forward. They know they have trance. There's no grab to worry about. They can trance aggressively if they want.
Caro has a shatter. Ultraviolet, though, might have to use Transcend.
He does it!
Down! Shatter out from Caro, trying to salvage the fight, knocks down Smeedo, forces out the barrier, so it's not a bad shatter for barrier trade, but Ultraviolet losing the Zen battle really makes a difference there.
May have lost the Zen battle, but it wasn't a battle he needed to worry about. There's no grab on the field. You have Transcendence. I think Ultraviolet was trying to milk. He didn't want milking being, he wanted to pop later. He didn't want to use that Transcendence so late. He wanted to use it in a much later position, a better position, but he's low. If he dies, they lose the fight. That's exactly what happened.
Triumph, one fight away from a point B hold. Montreal, though, loaded and ready to go here in the offense, but the aggressive hold, they're backing up from it to a degree, but that's still fine. Even if they lose this next fight, they can easily come back in with advantage.
So Montreal moving forward here, they're going to look to set up, and once again, they're in a position where, sure, if they invest ults, they win this fight, but they still have to win one more like you talked about. Triumph giving them no free cart space, trying to delay when possible.
Well, heavy pressure coming in. Montreal doing much better in the poke battle. Decod already low, and they have to transcend early. Triumph transcends early, sets up the graph and logics, but Ultraviolet transcends on his own as well. Throws it in a little bit early. And now Triumph fighting back and forth relatively evenly. Smeedo gets on in, and Triumph, they get the better of the battle, even with Montreal having such an edge.
I mean, now Tiz is going to have to commit beat. They need to stay in this fight, but the longer it goes on, the closer Awkward gets the trance. They need to burn some targets. If you're Montreal, they're on cart, they're pushing it forward. Smex has the bomb. Triumph, they don't want to overcommit. They want Decod.
Triumph just needs, oh, okay, Lynx is going in pretty deep because the rest of Triumph back down for a moment. Triumph, they use the beat, they go in even deeper. Smex uses the bomb, does not connect. Transcendence out aggressively here as you see Triumph go in, but it's an overextension. I think Montreal's ready to punish.
No, Montreal actually, even though they're still in the fight, Lynx is still alive. Lynx has high energy. He's going to be coming back. He's close to that grab. Logix is not there. There's no bubbles.
Oh, they can't stay on the point.
They couldn't stay on the point. The bomb from Smex was good to get some isolation, but overall, Triumph's spot was so much better. They had Decod back way before Caro. Good focus fire for Triumph.
That was a lot more chaotic than it really should have been.
Oh, it was definitely a lot more chaotic than it should have been. And it really comes back to the fact that they didn't win that early fight with Ultraviolet, and then they come into a much more equal ult scenario, and they lose someone early. Their positioning was so rough that they had to pop Ultraviolet's trance early as well. And then Triumph just had much better focus fire.
And I mean, both teams were taking risks there as far as it went, where Triumph, you know, they go a little bit deep. They end up giving Ultraviolet 2 picks, but they still get enough off the engage that they even it up. And Montreal just unable to retain control. So it's not a very good offense for Montreal all in all, but it's certainly a great defense from Triumph on the other side. And now this means for Montreal that the only way to take the map here is just having a phenomenal point A defense. They really need a point A hold.
And they almost did that on Anubis. And now they don't actually have to hold first. They do have some time on second to fight. But it's looking increasingly good for Triumph, who have looked cleaner. Overall, just a lot cleaner. Their engages, their disengages. Triumph is just getting the better of Montreal as the series goes on in terms of just overall team play.
And Triumph, I mean, they've been looking, as you say, as the series goes on, but it feels like they've been getting more comfortable as the series has been going on as well, where they look to be stronger than they were going all the way back to Control. And, you know, it's a bit troubling for Montreal, where it's not that Montreal has been bad per se, but they just had small errors that really add up.
So Montreal going to play in 3-3 here for this defense. Triumph the same for the offense. Both squads feeling comfortable in that style. Looks like Chop trying to do the big goose rollout, as it's called, going over the top, trying to boot them off the high ground. Is he going to get it? No. Going to fall back down. And now Triumph going to go here through Cafe.
That was a clean rotation. That was very swift. Gets them all the way around, and they get the Cafe pretty much for free.
Montreal still holding on to the opposing high ground here on patio, just waiting to drop down and contest the point. They have Icy right now, and look at this pressure they're trying to put onto Smex. They want Smex to move from point. They want Smex to get away, so Icy forces the rest of Montreal to rotate.
Montreal's getting a little bit better shield pressure here on the Rhine. It forces Decod back for a moment. Decod has to rotate back around through Cafe. Montreal, though, they need to put some skin on the point here, and it's going to be Caro. dropping on down. Under heavy pressure. Now his shield about to break. Triumph pushing the issue. They move forward. They get one, make it two. Decod just piercing on through.
And Naga went for a very aggressive bash where there's still bubbles, a barrier in front of him. You can't bash through shield anymore, Naga. So Naga down, and all based off that great rotation for Triumph. The early pressure as well on the Smex, making Smex rotate, making Montreal fall. Triumph just having great rotation so far. Great focus. They know how they want to set up their fights.
Okay, this is an even harder hold for Montreal than what they needed to do back on Temple Anubis. Holding Point B Hollywood, not to the very end, but at the very beginning, for 5 minutes. This would be one of the most epic Hollywood holds in Overwatch history if Montreal was actually able to accomplish.
It's not just holding it for the 5 minutes as well, because Triumph already has a huge ult advantage in this fight.
Well, the Shatter connects, and this time for Decod, it's good. Knocks down two, forces out the Transcendence early, and now Lynx got to be licking his chops right now. A free Graviton, no Transcendence. They use the beat though, and the bomb, trying to make it easy setup. The beat keeps alive. We see both teams still in it, 5-on-5. Shatter in from Decod again. Builds another one mid-fight, and this is looking real good for Triumph. They get on through, and Montreal might not have another fight.
No, I don't think Montreal is going to have another fight. They might be able to stagger on, touch the point. But right now, Triumph, they're in firm control. Even with Decod being low, they can't touch. That's map. Triumph looking so clean. That shatter from Decod forcing the trance early, allowing Lynx to set it up. Sure, they could sustain a little bit later, but then Chopper's just able to bunny hop the beat, the staggered beat. Triumph looking so clean.
It's every Zarya's favorite moment when your Rhine goes above and beyond the Call of Duty to make the Zenyatta transcend. Then it's just, oh, this next team fight, it's really easy. And that's what it was there for Triumph. Even though Montreal, to a degree, like they did mitigate it someone with the beat, it was still too much. The Shatter set the pace. And as a result, Triumph now up 2-1, one map victory away from winning their first Contender series and starting out on what is a decidedly good note.
And it's not just winning the first map as well in Contenders, but it's that it could be a pretty decisive victory. And 3, it's Montreal, a team that made it relatively far. They made it to playoffs last season after a rough early start. So they had that solid core. Now, this is a different roster in some ways, but it has to be impressive for them for time, because also they're not an academy team.
Very much so, although Triumph, it is an org that does give financial support. So it's kind of it's a Twilight Zone, right? It's not a team that's officially related to an Overwatch League team. It's not an academy team in all senses of the word, but it is an independent org, so the players aren't exactly out there without a lifeline. I actually don't know if they have a team house or otherwise, but like I said, it's kind of the in-between between no sponsor whatsoever and academy team.
So now Triumph going to be up 2-1 over Montreal. Going to be heading into our 4th map of the series. And really, once again, I'm not seeing an individual outperformance from Triumph. I'm just seeing a team that's setting up their engages. Like when we look at that last offense for Triumph, they sat on point, they pressured Smex to move, so Montreal had to drop the point. And then because they used those early cooldowns, lost that early positioning, they were just able to pick Naga. And then they just carried it on for that first fight with their ults. It's really Triumph just out-teaming Montreal.
And again, Triumph has been doing better and better as the series has progressed. And it's a very good omen for a team that did have to work their way through Open Division. Again, a team that was very close to getting through back in Contender Season 1 of this year. Just barely missed due to chicken contendies. And now, you take a look at the series here. They're now in Contenders proper, and they're taking Montreal to task.
Could be the return of the Logic slump again as well. We don't want to see that. Mr. Logix, we always like when he performs. And sometimes he just has a slow start. From what we've seen. Though he has been performing pretty well.
I kind of want to see Logix just pull out his inner Linkser, where you think to some of the compositions the Outlaws have been having success on, just go Tracer, forehead.
Just go Tracer, forehead.
Bring back classic Mr. Logix so we can thank him.
So this is going to be our 4th map of this series now. Havana going to be our escort. And I'm very, very, very much predicting a first hold for one of these, or not a first hold, a early spawn camp for one of these teams at least one of them.
You would think. I mean, it's either one of two things, right? You either run the heavy spawn camp with a Reinhardt, or you run something more bunker focused, but neither of these teams really seem inclined to bring out the bunker.
Nope, both teams very happy to play the 3-3. Smek's probably not going to be on this Reaper. Probably going to be moving back to the D.Va very soon. I would hope not. I hope teams would have learned about the Reaper. I don't want to say a Reaper. No, not the Reaper.
What? It's dark and gruesome. It's Vex here on the Reaper, and they take down Lynx. It works out. Montreal, early pickoff. It's somehow the pressure in from the Reaper, doing more than you would expect.
Doing a lot more, but I don't know if it was the Reaper that was popping off there, but now Smex be taking out Decod.
Smex says, let me put myself in the kill feed. Let me convince you.
Let me convince you as I pull out the Reaper hero. Guys, aren't these professional players? Where's Reaper? He's very good against tanks, and Smex has listened, Twitch chat. Smex has listened. Reaper is good against tanks. He's listened. Just go Reaper.
Well, for now, it's hard to question it. Montreal has gotten through the first hurdle here in Havana, but there's still likely more to go. It is a tough map to get through swiftly. Triumph rotating around on the defense.
See, Smex is actually, he's hunting for people, but he wasn't able to find them. Triumph now rotated back along through this high ground to contest the cart. Decod close to that shatter, but pretty equal between him and Jakaru. Both teams just looking for the engage.
Jakaru gonna drop the hammer, knocks down 2. He's looking good for Montreal. Decod immediately out of the fight. Transcendence not in time to save him because Decod got brought on a ride.
And also from that bash, there's not going to be Chop going down. And now Montreal, they don't have to use anything. Smex just walking forward, playing Reaper. It doesn't, I mean, he's playing Reaper all right. Like he's playing
Reaper.
He's playing Reaper all right. He's walking forward, getting those pickup frags. But Montreal is all just based off the shatter and then the bash from Naga, getting those 2 frags. And that's going to be first cap, a pretty fast first cap as well for Havana, for Montreal.
Does your mind explode if Icy doesn't use defensive matrix, get in Smex's face, and prevent this Death Blossom from being the greatest throwback to 2016 you've ever seen?
Well, okay, Smex taking high ground, then dropping down. I think if Smex is able to find value from Death Blossom while Icy's still in mech, we will definitely have a problem. There's the rally versus Samido. Oh, huge corner shatter. There's the Death Blossom for the actual peel. Doesn't get anything, though. He fell down, then fell off the edge.
All right, well, that's about more as expected, but the shatter was a good one to set that up for Triumph. Brigida already out of the fight. Smex going to fall, and I believe that is the end of Mr. Reaper.
Yes, it is now time for Mr. Reaper to go bye-bye.
Bring out Diva.
Give me my superior, give me Fat Reaper. There's Fat Reaper. There's Diva. Much better, much improved Reaper.
Reaper.
With Matrix, with Fly, with Bomb. Very, very, very good. Doesn't have to reload. So now Triumph, they do stop the second push for right now. They are holding on. And we see where the deep position is for Icy. I know it's such a strong position. All of Montreal rotating through, gonna get caught on the corner with the grab.
Grab's on you, self-destruct right to the backline, but that wasn't even needed.
Yeah, but look, Logic's committed grab for that fight. Logic's committed grab, and they use Trance. So now they don't have either of them. The corner grab was so strong for Lynx. Logic was hoping to peel, but a little bit too little too late. The position was already too strong. I don't even think Icy had to bomb that. But it's another fight win for Triumph. Going to go back to their hold. And this hold is incredibly hard to break, especially when you have Icy up on that little hangar area, the loft area. He can contest the cart. He can rotate very easily. Shoot. Depots him right hard in the back.
We've been talking pro players recently, and that's probably the part of the map that they feel is the most broken, where the Diva just stand up there and make it really hard to push forward. And already, 1 down. Brigida falling early to Decod's charge. Smex firing back just a bit. Awkward out of the fight. Smexing up his mech for it. More even than I think Triumph would like. And the shatter in from Jakaru opens the way.
They need to keep Logic alive, though. They don't want Logic to lose his energy. He won't. And that was a great shatter from Jakaru. Also, the flank from Smex, just able to walk on top of Awkward. Awkward not wanting to commit any resources there. He should have been peeled for. But the rest of his team, the rest of Triumph was looking forward. They didn't peel for Awkward. So losing that Zen, they'd had that trance in that fight. Could have been a little bit different. So now Montreal have broken that aggressive, that very, very tough to break hold for second, bringing the card into last. For that, or not last, but rather the end of point B.
You're just thinking last because usually the map ends here. You don't see point C as often, even though we did see it today.
Here comes Triumph coming for the recontest. They will have the grab. They will have that double support ult. They have the ults they need. Can Montreal sustain? Can they get the grab of their own? Because Logic needs to get the grab.
Flowchart Reinhardt from Decod. Shield about to break. Run forward. Try and drop the shatter. Get nothing. That was not the maneuver from Decod there in Montreal. Now the opportunity is Graviton. Eden. Smex all over Lynx.
But Logix drops grab, catches no one as well. So we've essentially equalized the grabs for both squads. Now Smex gonna drop the bomb, the beat out for Tinsa, not able to catch anyone.
He's out the shadow though, in from Jakaru, knocks down 2, Samido out of the fight. Montreal off the hammer of Jakaru, getting a bit more. The bomb in from Icy does not connect. But now you look here, Decod in trouble, getting isolated all the way. Smex though, Smex gonna lose mech? No, Smex still has mech.
Smex still has mech, Chop gonna go down, and now this is Montreal winning the fight. And even with all those ults traded, at the end of the day, Montreal, with that rally from Naga, just able to stay on top.
Montreal pushing payload forward. Lynx getting thrown all the way off. Not going to be able to contest that one. And point B will be captured by Montreal. 2 minutes and 40 left to get this into the end.
Looking for some stagger kills from Montreal. He's going to be moving forward. Going to try to take a very aggressive fight here. They don't want to wait too long. They don't want to fight here at the castle gates. They would like to have one a little bit earlier in the streets. Still regrouping. Actually looks like it's taking them quite a while to move forward. There we go. Now going to be moving forward. You got has Shatter. Once again, Lynx has the grab. Samito, the rally. There's plenty of resources in their bank. They try to move these cooldowns. Try to set up Decod here.
Got hung on to Shatter. Graviton to be used early. See Decod just casually moving forward. Transcendatory invested. Shatter used. Knocks down Logix. Logix on the ground. Logix under heavy fire. Logix still alive. Able to get back up. Montreal turning the tide.
Much better Shatter for J-Caro. Decod going a little bit too aggressive with that post-Shatter moving forward. Doesn't hold the shield. And then J-Caro just has the better defensive Shatter. Catches Triumph. And that's been really a story throughout the series that regardless of the scoreline is that J-Caro has found more consistently with the Shatter. He's been punishing Decod's aggression. But Triumph has just overall been following up, supporting him a little bit better.
Now, the dangerous part here for Triumph is that even though you're heading into a very defensively favored area, they're pretty drained on resources. Icy's going to have to hit the Miracle Bomb.
For Montreal, stacking up, bringing this card in here. We'll have the beat, we'll have the rally, we'll have a bomb of their own. And you're right, ZP, it's all on Icy, because Icy needs to have this bomb to kill for his team. He needs to keep them alive.
Also next is bomb of his own. Bomb out here from Icy. Gets one!
And Tinsa loses beat! Tinsa was beating! He was mid-cast, he dies, no beat!
Oh, absolute disaster for Montreal. Icy with the bomb that was prophesized. And Montreal drop a bomb of their own, but it's nowhere near as good, and they simply have to back up.
And that was a really questionable beat. That was a really questionable beat as well from Tinsa, because he could have just hidden the doorway and the beat after. Naga was still going to have the shield there. He was lose shield, but then they could just beat right after. So now no beat for Montreal. They're still in the fight. They're waiting for Tinsa. But Triumph, they've equalized it there. They've removed the beat. They've stopped the push. And we're getting into last fight territory.
Logic's on the Graviton, and this is where he usually telegraphs, but doesn't do it this time. Graviton in. Pulls in 3. Transcends out from the other side. Shatter knocks J-Caro to the ground. Transcends out. Shatter in on the other side for J-Caro. Triumph, though, shrug it off. They move on in. Ultraviolet down. They move in. 2 for Triumph. And Montreal might be getting repelled here and now on point C.
And now Montreal, they have lost the fight. There's 10 seconds left, and the spawn is so far away. I don't know if anyone from Montreal. Looks like Smex. He's still playing up on the high ground. He still has mech. He does not have bomb, though, so as soon as he sees mech, he'll probably be going down. Smex looking to touch. J-Caro rolling in on this Hammond. Gonna get solo grabbed. Gonna get cleaned up very soon.
Well, that's just the life of the Hammond trying to stall. Sometimes you eat the solo grab, and there's not a lot you can do about it. The hold comes in at the very end. But I still have to say, not a bad offense all in all. I mean, really, for any offense on Havana gets through point A, not a bad offense.
No, not a bad offense. They took it pretty far to the end. But Montreal probably kicking themselves for losing that beat there. Not getting that value. Now they're going to have the defense. Hopefully they have a much stronger first defense than what Triumph had, because they're going to need it.
Well, at stake here for Montreal, of course, is getting a full hold and putting the series to a map 5, where you think about Control, even though it was very close, Montreal did look better on Control earlier in the series. We call that the Fusion University, winning in 5, winning double Control. However, Triumph has been looking pretty good here so far, all in all, and today so far has seemingly been the day of Havana offense, more so than the norm.
Ready for battle.
So it looks like the 3-3 going to be coming out for Montreal. Same for Triumph. Not to be unexpected. I doubt Icy might be actually be playing Sombra here. Could be the Sombra Goats, but it could just be Scout here.
Well, if they were to play with Sombra, it would be Icy that would be on it, given that usually it is a D.Va player that flexes back and forth from Sombra to D.Va. So it would make sense.
It's possible.
And I also think Sombra is a good pick for point A Havana. I think it's smart for the offense. It makes your offense overall more reliable than just trying to win fight after fight. Meanwhile, Montreal, they're very willing to get directly in front of the spawn.
Looks like Triumph actually going to be swapping Icy back to the D.Va. Samito on the Hog. Looks like they might try to catch someone. No. Okay, I was about to say they're maybe looking to catch someone with a hook, but no, going back to Brigida.
Samito's ladder play was showing there for a second. He's like, Hog? It's like, no. This is Contenders. You have to have more of a reason.
Early bubble from Logix actually onto Naga, so there's no bubble for Montreal, and Triumph know that, so they're going to try to be a little bit more aggressively aggressively take this cart. Right now, just trading shield presence here. Jcaro losing the shield war right now.
Montreal not doing the best spawn camp. Smek's in real danger. Demacked. Really good start here for Triumph. Everyone very healthy, and without D.Va, this is a fight that Triumph should just be able to grind down. Smeedo gonna fish off Smeks, and now this is looking very, very good for Triumph.
Really depends on if Jcaro goes down, and the question is, he does. Gonna get sandwiched. And Logic gets the frag, but Montreal, they should not commit any ults. They're just gonna be staggering, dying on the cart now. They do get some ults for the next recontest, but so does Triumph. Gonna be nearly 6 ults on the board for Triumph. And Smeks going deep, getting caught, actually, for that pressure from Icy. A little bit too far behind was the opening pick.
The upside for Montreal is that Montreal, they get a minute off the clock, it's not bad, but Triumph, they didn't have to use anything.
No, had to use nothing. And they're going to be holding onto the cart. You also see this high ground for Lynx. Lynx going to be, this is a really smart position, going to be dropping down to an isolated. Chop, hiding up above, looking for Boops. Going to fall with his team.
Bravita and Icy over it once more. Logic's feeding the mean Icy machine on the other side. And now Triumph in a good spot. Lynx just laying in the damage. The shield almost broken. The Graviton is in. And oh no! The bomb takes down 3! That more than compensates for Decon falling.
We're going to be catching 4, and that's all from that shield presence. They spent so long shooting Jcaro's shield, and as soon as the grab comes out as well, they continue to shoot, putting Icy's bomb in that position to succeed. So that's a huge bomb from Icy. Triumph taking first, and didn't even have to commit either the beat.
4.5 minutes also as they head into point B. Point A, Havana, just getting disrespected in a way that we usually haven't seen, certainly not in the Overwatch League.
So Montreal, they're going to have this first fight here at the doors. Moving in, they need to get a good fight here. Smeks taking that position that's so powerful in that loft. Montreal up on the high ground. They will have bomb soon. They will still have beat, still have shatter. They need to get some value here. They need to remove these support ults in particular.
Triumph trying to move up, and oh! The Transcendence on time, chopped! It's sliced on down, but still winnable, 5-on-5. Montreal down quite a bit of damage with Logic's out of the fight early, and this could still work out for Triumph.
Good Bash Shatter! It's a Bash Shatter, huge Bash Shatter.
But they're still fine. Triumph just shrugs it off. They're gonna heal up. He got a shot of his own, knocks down 2. Beat is in for both sides, and Triumph still coming in strong.
Still coming in strong, and you see the Transcendence actually invested for Ultraviolet. They're not going to lose anyone to the grab, but look at Lynx. Lynx so close to the grab. So this is all going to be once again on Smeks, either eating the grab or having the great defensive bomb.
The Graviton or die. The defensive bomb is out. The eat wasn't there. They lose 2 in the lose 1 in the grab. Make it 2. Naga down. Decon shield in real danger. Decon going to be burned on down. Montreal still fighting their way back in, and Logic's close to a grab of his own, but will it be enough?
Logic's commit grab though. I mean, the grab. Where is the grab?
What?
Oh no!
The stairs didn't deserve that, Logix. They did nothing to you.
Oh,
aim at the enemy team.
Oh, we've been seeing this more and more often. I don't think this is the first time it's happened in this series either for Logic's. Tragedy, because it actually was very winnable for Montreal though. Now Triumph, they get second. They're at a blazing fast speed right now as EP.
That is not a play that can happen. If you want to be a top team here in Contenders, you cannot throw Graviton away. And now Triumph, 4 minutes left between them and their first Contenders series win in their debut here today.
So here comes Montreal. They're trying to take this early fight. If they lose this fight, it's almost unlucky. It's very unlikely that they will have another recontest. Not unlucky, but unlikely. Triumph, they have Shatter. There's the Shatter after Jcaro, putting 2 down. Can they get anyone? Smeedo down. Decon dropping his own, does not get anyone. And he's deep and he's down.
Well, that is one area that Montreal has been doing well in the entire series, is that between Jcaro and Decon, there's a clear disparity in landing shatters, and Jcaro has been on top.
Yeah, Jacaro's been on top, but they just need to find more value overall with the rest of the squad. So that's the fight done for Montreal. Only having used 1 ult there, the Shatter to win. So they're going to be fine overall in that ult economy. Need to mitigate the damage, though, that Lynx's grab is going to do here, because that is going to be the weakness for Triumph.
Graviton up early, trying to focus down Logic's. Logic's about to have a grab of his own. Transcendence was used to mitigate. Logic's where you put your grab, he immediately drops it onto the corner. Bomb, though! Really nice bomb plays for Triumph. Buys them time, lets them live through the Graviton. Now here comes Next, dropping the bomb to the back line. Beat is out, just to be sure. Bomb forcing Beat, but Triumph still in it.
This is really good for Montreal. You see the late beat for Tinson now. They should be able to catch anyone or at least set up Jcaro's Shatter. He does have the Shatter now. Doesn't want to lose the Shield War.
gets really low, though. It forces him back. He can't hit the Shatter without falling on his own, but now he's going to drop the Shatter, puts Decod to the ground, and Decod goes back to spawn.
And once again, Decod just not respecting J-Caro's Shatter. That's going to be the fight win. Still 2.5 minutes going to be left on the clock for Triumph. They have plenty of time to still break this hold. Good work from Specs in particular. He drew back Triumph later in that fight while he had bomb, gets the bubble, sets up the bomb, and removes that beat from Chopped.
Both Divas, I think, had a really outstanding fight there because you had that from Specs, and Icy was able to mitigate the worst of Logic's grab, which was quite good. Now we get to the next fight here. Link's going to get the Graviton up a little bit earlier. Graviton up. Where's it going to go? Currently waiting. Rally up here from Montreal. Triumph, I think, is just going to let it fade.
Yeah, Triumph is going to let it fade. Then look, once Samido has his own rally, they're going to look to re-engage. They're looking to set up Lynx. They want Lynx's grab to come out. There's Logic's grab.
Logic's Graviton first, and Decod knocked out, uses the Shatter on the other side, and Graviton eaten! Specs giving Lynx a taste of his own medicine on the other side. J-Caro is down, Decod still in. Triumph moving it forward. Montreal getting pushed back, and Specs is going to get D-back. This is looking real bad for Montreal.
I mean, Decod does go down in return. They can still contest this point. They will have beat Tinta. He's alive. He's there. He's able to touch. They don't want to commit. They don't want to overcommit. They don't want to commit to that part right there. They can. They can get back to the payload. They wanted to save. They want to get the beat. Icy has bomb. Triumph still a minute and a half left on the clock, and they're going to have to wait for Decod to come back. That's why Montreal felt confident rotating. They knew they had to. Triumph had to wait for them.
Icy, the bomb down the middle. Going to get Ultraviolet is down. Decod just gets him while they're rotating away. Specs, bomb of his own off to the side, does not connect. 6 on 5, but actually the bomb does get the mech. So it's not too bad here for Montreal, but here comes the overlaid support ult to Triumph. They need something here quick. They're going to be at a disadvantage after they get the Brigida. Brigida's down. Triumph well on their way. The first series win here at Contenders. Do they start out on a win? Logic's on top. The grab charged up. Pulls everyone together. The rest of Montreal trying to make something happen. Triumph is low, but Triumph is sustaining. It's not enough for Montreal. Too many people are down. And Triumph win here on Havana. They just need a little bit more, and they're going to get it. Triumph wins their first series.
Wins their first series, and it's very well done from Triumph. They looked exceptionally clean, even with J-Caro maybe getting the better of those Ryan duels. Overall, their squad looks so clean, and I question why Tensa waited so long to drop the beat. Doesn't drop the beat for the bomb, so Ultraviolet dies. Drops the beat much later in the fight after the engages happen, but Triumph's already on top of them. So really, if they have that beat, they wanted to wait for the better engagement. They had some time to do it. Montreal just not looking as coordinated. Just not looking as coordinated as Triumph.
Again, I think it's just small mistakes adding up against Montreal over the course of the fights. And in the end, Triumph, for a team that is an open division team that just recently graduated up, looking very good here. And this is something they can build upon as they look towards the later stages of this Contender season, as they prepare for the teams that are likely going to be giving them a tougher fight.
Yeah, I think teams will be punishing I think some of the stronger teams in particular will be punishing Decod a lot more heavily for his aggression, for how he treats Shatters, and how he, really his lack of respect a lot of the times for the other opposing team Shatter. But his aggression has helped setting up Triumph, putting them in those spots where we're getting a better spot for our grab, we're in a better spot for our bomb. It's very his style fits the team, but definitely looking for some refinement. For Montreal, I mean, they just need Mr. Logics. They need Mr. Logics as well to look like Mr. Logics, and I think they'll be looking a lot stronger.
And to the Decod note, I mean, it's worth noting that Reinhardt matchups are sometimes, your matchup against one Reinhardt might not be the same as another. True. Where Decod was really aggressive, but that could pay off more against a Reinhardt that's trying to be greedier on getting more swings and getting more fire strikes. So I'm curious to see how the next match looks for Decod, because today wasn't his best day, but he still played well enough. Triumph finishing up the 3-1.
And I think that the moral of the story, regardless of anything is that we're at the beginning of the season. There's plenty of times for both these squads to improve, to get better. But for Triumph, for being a team fresh out of trials, never been Contenders before, being what is, many veteran players on Montreal and Academy squad. So they have to feel happy with that first win in Contenders.
No doubt about it. But guys, we still got 2 great matches left here tonight as we kick off this next season of North American Contenders. Stay tuned. You won't want to miss it.